I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up COVID. Obviously, we're in the midst of a pandemic. There's still an emergency order, and there's a lot of things that have been affected because of that. Over the past several months, the speaker has taken a lot of action here at the House to not only make sure we can do our job safely, but that the public can participate to a certain level. And of course, our main concern here is what it's done to the economy and what it's done to our school children who have not been in school now for going on almost a year. And I'm sure we will get to that 1 year mark before this is over. So the House is focusing on things like tax reform, making sure our economy stays strong. Luckily, Arizona wasn't hit horribly hard, but we were impacted. We have a nice surplus to work with. So we're going to make sure that our jobs market is good, and we're going to make sure that our schools are open and that there's a lot of options out there for parents.
What will you say is the commitment of both parties to cross the aisle to work to accomplish those items?
So what I'm seeing so far is that everybody wants to work together on these things. It's kind of refreshing, quite honestly. I've been down here 3 terms. Obviously, seen some moments where there's a huge partisan divide. I feel like there's quite a bit of unity on these 2 items right now. One thing Republicans and Democrats can always agree on is that the economy matters, jobs matter, and education matters.
Let's talk about the pandemic. You mentioned it, and it's changing the course of business, how lawmakers like yourself will conduct their work here over the next few months. Of course, there's also increased security. How confident are you that, the tone is different this year, security is different, and it will be a safe and a secure session ahead?
It will be a safe and secure session. I'm confident in that. What's a little bit disappointing, I think, is that it's going to be more difficult for the public to participate in person as they have historically. But going back to what we talked about in the beginning, the speaker took extraordinary steps before we went into session to ensure that we could come down here as the elected members and interact with staff safely and efficiently. You'll notice things like glass partitions on the House floor. There's a pretty strict mask policy throughout the building, with few exceptions. Um, those steps have been taken, and again, both sides worked together on those things. We have doctors here in both caucuses. Dr. Cobb and Dr. Shaw were part of an initial panel that set up these protocols. So I feel good about it.
I was at the Capitol just this week and I saw a fair share of demonstrators. Are they at all challenging your work?
No, not at this point. And that's nothing new. Every year there's a demonstration down here for something, and sometimes every day. Quite honestly, I feel like that's welcome. That's everyone's right to come down and let their voice be heard. We just hope it remains peaceful. So far, it has.
Okay, Representative Travis Grantham, thank you.
You're welcome.